Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Adrian. Today I have a very interesting video about two nebulas located in the same constellation, Auriga. And the very interesting thing is that the first one, the Flaming Star Nebula, from our perspective looks bigger. And the second one, the Tadpoles Nebula, it's smaller, but funny enough, after digging into some, information when I was getting ready to capture the Tadpoles Nebula, I found out that actually it's much bigger than the Flaming Star Nebula, but a greater distance in the background. And my fascination was always and is to capture different targets or the same targets with different telescopes. So Flaming Star Nebula, I was able to capture it with the Red Cat 51 at 400 millimeters, and then at 900 millimeters with my refracted Orion telescope. I did not try it yet with my RC telescope, 2000 millimeter. Probably that's the next thing I will do as soon as this nebula will be available in the night sky. But for the Tadpoles Nebula, as you can see in this video next to me, initially I was going for the Flaming Star, then I saw the Tadpoles Nebula and I frame it such so I can have both in the image. And for the Tadpoles Nebula, I was able to use the Orion telescope at 900 millimeters. And then afterwards I used the RC telescope at 2000 millimeters, and the image is stunning. I was very happy the way it came out, and I would just want to give you a little bit of information about these two beautiful targets. And I'm glad you are back, and stay tuned. So the first image we have is the image that I started with, that I used for the video. And this is an image of the Flaming Star Nebula and Tadpoles Nebula in the same field of view. In order to take this image, I used the Red Cat 51, a small telescope that has a wide field of view, monochrome camera, of course the filters, the hydrogen, the salt, the oxygen. And this is not a lot of data, it's about 10 hours, but it's sufficient to get some details surrounding the Flaming Star Nebula, and of course the neighboring quote-unquote Tadpoles Nebula, and some gases that you see in between. And if you show somebody this image, they look from our perspective to be one next to each other, but the difference between these two is a very big difference. The Flaming Star Nebula is situated about 1400 light years away and is closer to Earth. That's why it appears bigger. Tadpole Nebulas actually is 12,000 light years away. So the size of that nebula is absolutely massive, and the fact that at that distance we can still get some details and we can see, it's a testament to that. And moving to the next image, this is the Flaming Star. This is taken with my Orion telescope. It's about 900 millimeters approximately, and you see that the Flaming Star Nebula actually occupies the whole frame. Normally it should be, I would say, like a 700 millimeter. I would say probably 6 would be like a sweet spot. This is a little bit too much into it, closer. And then if we compare this with the same telescope, Orion 900 millimeters, I took the Tadpoles Nebula as well over here, and looking at both side by switching between both of them to see when it comes to the size. And it's very deceiving because of course the Tadpoles Nebula looks smaller, but it's not. And it's a very interesting observation that I made. And as it happens, I do have the Elephant Trunk Nebula. I've been working on a project. I find these two to be very similar in structure, and as you can see over here is this roundish, and with all the plumes towards the interior. Same thing over here. It's just a fun observation, but again, keep in mind that this nebula is very, very big. I don't have the exact numbers. I'm sure you can find out. Sometimes they don't really have the actual size. They have like an approximation, being that far, and sometimes it's very hard to measure everything, but clearly this one is very, very big compared to the flaming star. And then the last picture that I want to present you, it's the Tadpoles closing. I'm using the 2000 millimeter telescope, focal length, big aperture on my GSO RC, and I love this picture. I think it's tremendous. The details you get in this image are fantastic. Keep in mind the distance, 12,000 light years away from Earth. The fact that we are able to see this, it's a testament of how far, as an amateur astrophotographer, how far we have come. And the technology has been fantastic. And yeah, this is basically what I imagine when I got a big telescope like this. This is what I'm expecting. You need to be patient. Over here it's about 55 hours of data. It's not easy. It's a hard thing to do, but it's well worth it. I do hope you like it. And as I said, I do love to have different telescopes, different focal lengths, and be able to compare the images. I think it's great. I hope you guys like it as well. And again, comparing this to the Orion, and then comparing it to, I'm sorry, I switched to Elephant Trunk, comparing it to the Red Cat at 400 millimeters, and you see you can barely make up some details over here. This looks a little bit overcooked if you go close, but you see how big of a difference the telescope does when it comes to focal length, aperture, and so on and so forth. This has been a presentation, just a little bit of perspective on some targets that we see from Earth, that we take pictures of. They are situated in the same constellation from our perspective, but as I said, the flaming star, it's up front. Tadpoles Nebula, it's back, way far, and it's just fascinating to think about it this way. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you very soon. Clear skies.